Okay, well, thank you very much. Magandang hapon po sa mga kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah. Kumusta kayo? Kumusta mga kapatid natin dyan sa Pilipinas? Kumusta din ang mga kababayan, mga kapatid natin dyan sa mga iba-ibang parte ng mundo? Especially itong mga overseas Filipino workers kagaya namin dito po sa Malaysia, dito po sa Sabah. Ito po ang Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. Once again, nandito na naman tayo to give you ang mga latest updates regarding dyan po what is happening sa Pilipinas. And today is the last day of September 30 na po. And bukas, we are going to start with a brand new month. And that is the month of October. Sa mga kapatid ko po sa Roman Catholic faith, I just want to remind you, or remind all of us, that the month of October is the month of Rosary. Huwag natin kalimutan po to say our Rosary during the month of October. And of course, October, November, and then Pasko na po. December na naman. And the month of December is a merry-making month po. Merry-making month po dahil we are going to sabihin natin celebrate the coming of our Savior Jesus Christ. Ibig sabihin po, Pasko na naman, no? Christmas again. But since early this month po, ang Pilipinas, I think that's the only country in Asia po wherein, kung hindi sa mundo, no? Wherein ang Pilipinas is the first one who start celebrating ang Christmas as early as the month of September. Pagdating na ang birth month po, September, October, November, December po, dyan na po ang spirit of Christmas. So, nag-umpisa tayo September, habang mayroon na tayong mga, we can feel the spirit of Christmas, but we can also feel the spirit of ang feelings of anger po month of September ang mga Filipinos po. Bakit po? Because this is the month wherein galit na ang mga Filipinos po dahil sa corruption sa Pilipinas. Nakumpisa yun po when no less than our President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. during his State of the Nation address, he mentioned, mahiya kayo. Ibig sabihin po, mahiya ang mga tao, mga congressmen, mga senators, kung sino pa involved, mga contractors natin po, involved sa anomalya. Very big anomalya yan po. It's a very big anomalous scandal when it comes to the billions and trillions of money on flood control projects. Not only projects are related to flood control program or projects po, but also other development construction programs para sa Pilipinas po. A lot of money went to the pocket of this irresponsible, greedy politician, allegedly, congressmen and senators, contractors, the private sectors, and other government officials, employees, not only in the Department of Public Works and Highways, but also po dyan sa mga iba-ibang departments and agencies ng gobyerno. That includes na po ang Commission on Audit. Commission on Audit po. But anyway, let's see po. Dahil ang Senate natin po, ang Senado ng Pilipinas, is doing the investigation po in aid of legislation. Ang committee is doing the investigation po, yun na po, ang Blue Ribbon Committee. And nakumpisa din, I think 1 or 2 hearings nagawa din ang House of Representatives via itong TRICOM nila po, no? Tatlong committees sa House of Representatives, but lately they decided to stop the investigation, and whatever findings they have during the first and second hearing, they will forward it to the newly established Independent Commission for Infrastructure. Yun po ang creation ng commission made by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos po to investigate po what really happened sa mga flood control projects sa Pilipinas. And not only, as what I said, not only flood control projects, but also other infrastructure projects po, like roads, buildings, schools, so forth and so on. Mga multipurpose hall, ang dami po, mga proyekto amounting to trillions of money po. And dahil dyan po, galit na galit ang mga Filipino po and fed up na tayo dahil sayang lang po ang pera ng bayan nagpunta lang po sa mga itong mga corrupt politicians, corrupt government officials, corrupt businessmen natin po. That involves also ang mga contractors ng mga proyekto dyan sa Pilipinas po. Dyan sa Pilipinas. So let's see po what will happen. Let's see what will happen sa Blue Ribbon Committee. And of course, what will happen din po sa ICI or Independent Commission for Infrastructure po. Unlike the Blue Ribbon Committee being done openly, publicly po, may mga coverages ang social media, allowed to cover the hearing as well as ang mga mainstream media natin po. But itong ICI, it is a confidential hearing po. Sekreto yan po. Ibig sabihin, lahat mga hearings nila will not be made public on real time. Real time po. Ibig sabihin, walang coverage po. They will give us ang reports, what happened or what is happening sa hearing. They will update us, update sa mga Filipinos po, and we have to trust the ICI. And because of this po, marami din mga Filipinos, they doubt ang result ng ICI. Bakit nag-doubt po? Because from the very start, ngayon po, ang karamihan ng mga Filipinos, a lot of Filipinos, they don't trust anymore ang gobyerno natin. Tainted na po ang reputasyon ng mga elected officials natin po, mga politicians natin, dyan po sa Senado, sa Congress, at saka sa private sector natin po, and private business sector natin, as well as ang mga empleyado ng gobyerno po. Hindi naman lahat. Mayroon pa rin na mga matalino, honest, good public servants natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. But because of this po, grabe na ang affected na talaga ang trust ng taong bayan sa mga opisyales natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. And you cannot blame. And you cannot blame po. You cannot blame ang publiko, the public, you cannot blame if this is how we feel now po. We feel now towards ang mga opisyales natin, be it legislators, be it government officials, and also the business sectors, especially itong mga involved in the development programs or projects ng gobyerno. Again, not all po. Mayroon pa rin mga matalino Pilipino dyan po, And let's see, kaya nga ang sigaw ng mga tao ngayon na itong ICI, dapat lang sana po, they will make it because of the tainted doubt na po, tainted the reputation already ang ng gobyerno natin po. They are hoping that sana lang pwede naman yan magawa ng open hearing po so that the public will see walang nobody is covering up. In other words, the true meaning of transparency. Yon ang gusto namin. Yon ang gusto ang mga Filipinos po. Transparency, accountability, and justice. Ibig sabihin, those who are involved must be put behind bars. And there should be no stone unturned, And it must be open to the public po para malalaman namin kung sino ang who are telling the truth and who are not telling the truth po, no? Kaysa mag-depend na lang tayo po dyan sa mga miyembro ng ICI or Independent Commission for Infrastructure po. You cannot blame the Filipinos po for thinking this way, for feeling this way now. Right? And nakita na natin, as the days goes by, nakita na natin po ang mga pangalan mentioned sa anomalya. Sa anomalya. Very, very big scandal. No? Scandal sa Pilipinas po. Some of them stepped down from their positions, ang mga legislators. One of them is no less than ang former Speaker ng House of Representatives, si Congressman Martin Romualdez. Okay? The other one is yesterday, ang very controversial name also po, si Congressman Saldi Co. Nag-resign siya po, irrevocable resignation. He sent already to the Speaker of the House, newly elected Speaker of the House, si Speaker Faustino Boji D. III. Accepted na po, and he submitted his resignation yesterday. The day also, ang last day nagbigay ang House of Representatives si Mr. Saldico po to return back to the Philippines, failing which there will be a complaint in the Ethics Committee dyan sa House of Representatives, no? To decide, evaluate, decide, and see if he will be expelled from the House of Representatives. So, voluntarily, immediately, he came out and say that he is resigning. But does it mean that he already stepped down or resigned as a congressman? Does it mean he's a free man now? No? No po. No po. Maganda na po ngayon because si Speaker D, he will not be thinking or worried about the parliamentary courtesy po between the Senate and the Congress, and among the congressmen po, inviting those people involved sa anomalya po, no? Suspected, no? Involvement on this scandal. But the problem is, si Mr. Saldico, no, is out of the country po. More than 1 month na po. He went to United States of America and claiming, although his travel clearance was proper when he left the Philippines last month, for medical reasons po, no? But now, we doubt if he's coming back to the Philippines po and face all these allegations po. Although earlier he was saying he is coming home to the country or to the Philippines po to face the allegation and answer all these allegations at the proper forum. Pero ngayon po, duda na tayo po if he's coming home po. In fact, we don't know where he is, no? Nasa France ba siya? Na Spain ba siya? Because he already left sa America. And mayroon din mga Filipinos is talking about bakit ang gobyerno during that time hindi pa nag-resign si Mr. Saldico po. Why ang gobyerno did not cancel ang passport, Philippine passport ni Saldico, Mr. Saldico. Sana lang po kung nag-cancel when he was still in United States of America, no? Hindi na siya makatravel sa ibang nasyon, kagaya sa Spain. But now, nasa Spain siya because ang passport niya, Philippine passport niya po, is still valid. So it means he can still travel everywhere or what country he wants to go. Dahil po, ang passport niya is still valid. Although ang gobyerno, through the Department of Justice, already seek the help issued the blue alert against blue notice against Mr. Ko dyan po sa Interpol po, no? Just to inform them that Saldico is now a person of interest dito po sa Philippine government. Let's see po what will happen po. Let's see what will happen. And the other thing I'm going to touch in this program ngayon, dito sa programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, about ang media at saka ang elected officials natin po. I'm sure you already heard, no? Maybe not all, but some of our kababayan dito po sa Malaysia, dito po sa Sabah, narinig na siguro kayo po tungkol si Senator Rodante Marcoleta at saka si isang reporter po, no? Doing commentary programs, public service program po dyan po sa Pilipinas, ang Abante News, no? Abante News. And mayroon silang konting, hindi lang konting po, but grabe din mga exchange of words nila, nag-away-away na sila po, no? Dahil lang po, ang Abante News was saying na kailangan daw inhibit daw si Senator Rodante Marcoleta sa investigation sa Blue Ribbon Committee po tungkol itong flood control project anomalies, dahil nag-mention na po ang pangalan ng asawa ni Senator Dante Marcoleta na involved siya o part siya ng kompanya ng Diskaya insurance company po. And ang clarification, ang explanation naman ni Senator Marcoleta is that he has nothing to do about this thing. And besides, sabi niya, ang misis niya, ang wife niya po, is only an independent director of one of the companies owned by Diskaya. Diskaya po. Now, it doesn't mean that if you are a director, you have something to do already with the decision of the company po, insurance company. No? It doesn't mean that way. Kaya nga na-explain si Senador Marcoleta sa Abante News po, but unfortunately, very obvious, nakita natin po, they really want to connect Marcoleta dito po sa itong issue na ito po, no? Issue na ito. So later on, I will be touching on that thing. In the meantime, let me share you a story po muna dyan po sa Philstar, ang mainstream media naman dyan po sa Pilipinas. Ang title natin or ang heading ng news report ito po is quitting wants spare Saldico from accountability, says Tiangco. Sino ito po? Si Tiangco. Toby Tiangco is one of the congressmen, independent congressman po dyan sa House of Representative. House of Representative. Nandito po ang detalles. Former Representative Elizalde Co's resignation does not mean he gets away scot-free. Representative Toby Tiangco from Navotas Long District said today. In a statement, or he said it yesterday, in a statement on a Monday night, September 29, Co's vocal critic stressed that a resignation does not amount to anything if he faces no accountability. Let me be clear, sabi ni Tiangco, Congressman Saldico's resignation is not enough. Resignation is not accountability. Tiangco said, what the Filipinos deserve is for him to face the music. Butol, true. He has to face the music. Ito si Saldico. Dahil po involved siya po. His name was mentioned on not only itong flood control projects po. Involved siya po dyan sa transaction, but also ang term as by congressmen and many other Filipinos po, ang 2025 national budget is the worst corrupt national budget in the history of the Philippines. So, bakit involved ito si Saldico sa national budget? Because during the time, he is the House of Representatives Appropriation Committee Chairman po. No? Ang counterpart niya po is former Senator Grace po. And of course, nandiyan po si Speaker Martin Romualdez. Alright? By simply resigning, Ko has insulted both the country's institution and the Filipino. Tiangco said. And if he does not face the allegations, this can be taken as a tacit admission of guilt. The public expects Ko to address the allegation against him not through press statements but in a proper forum where evidence and testimonies can be examined. This has been clear in the anti-corruption protests and demonstrations held just recently. Yan po. He should return to the Philippines to answer all the allegations against him. Sabi ni Tiangco. And yun din po ang sigaw ng mga Filipinos. However, Ko's irrevocable resignation renders the ethics complaint meaningless given his departure from the public office. This was confirmed by House Speaker Bongie D. and Ethics Committee Chair Representative J.C. Abalos from 4-Piece Party List. This was, listen to this carefully. Ko's irrevocable resignation renders the ethics complaint meaningless. Walang silbi na po to push ang complaint sa Ethics Committee ng House of Representatives. Sabi ni Speaker, newly elected Speaker, si Bongie D. No? Still, Tiangco pointed out that Ko's resignation does not close the door on legal action, as the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, ICI, had already recommended charges over a 289 million pesos flood control projects in Oriental Mindoro. Nag-recommend na po, no? To file charges against Saldi dahil of his involvement in this worth 289 million flood control projects dyan po sa Oriental Mindoro. And hindi lang yan po, marami pa po, no? Marami pa po, mga proyekto po na alleged involvement of Saldico po. Importante din ito si Mr. Saldico po to come out openly po and it will now confirm ang participation ni former Speaker Martin Romualdez po. And siguro from there, nandito na po, lumabas na ang si Ko at saka si Martin Romualdez, baka pa, maglabas na po ang identity ng real mastermind sa skandalo po o sa scandal ng flood control projects po. At the moment, a lot of people knows, suspect, sino ang mastermind talaga po. Hindi si Martin Romualdez, hindi si Mr. Saldico, hindi si Engineer Henry Alcantara, hindi din si Engineer Bryce Hernandez or si JP or si former Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo or sino pa man po. Mayroon talaga yon mastermind. Mayroon talaga yon mastermind, but we don't know kung maglabas ba itong pangalan ng mastermind. Sana lang po everything will be transparent sa investigation po, ongoing investigation carried out by the House of by the Senate and the ICI, no? ICI. Magulo ngayon po ang investigation ng Senate dahil po ito na ang mga pangalan ng mga senador, and those names mentioned, ang mga senators din po, they're also saying bakit kami lang, why hindi din nag-focus sa mga congressmen. Mayroon daw allegedly 6 senators. Samantala, earlier this month, lumabas din ang pangalan ng 17. Initial pa lang yun po, 17 congressmen involved dito po sa anomalya. Pero ngayon, focus dyan po sa senators lang po. Sa senators lang. Sino-sino yung mga pangalan? Si Senator Joel Villanueva was mentioned. Senator Jingo Estrada, his name was mentioned. Si Senator Chis Escudero was mentioned. Former Senator Nancy Binay, yes, mentioned. Sino pa, ha? Sino pa po? So, yun po ang mga pangalan mentioned, no? Mentioned. So, let's see. Everybody is watching itong developments dyan po sa investigation. Unfortunately po, ICC, just like Blue Ribbon Committee, they are doing the investigation in aid of legislation lang po. Ang ICI din po, they are doing the investigation, and whatever findings they have, they will turn it over to the ombudsman and to investigate, scrutinize, investigate further ang recommendation, after which it will be forwarded to the Sandigang Bayan po para sa korte. Ang mga cases para sa mga non-government officials sa korte yun po. How long will it take? We don't know po. How long will it take? It's a very, very big question mark. Kaya nga, sigaw naman ng mga tao during the next scheduled, because the organizers are contemplating or even confirmed that there will be another mass demonstration po. So ang sigaw din mga tao include sa sigaw natin po, sa sigaw natin sa demonstration po, accountability, justice, accountability and justice. Ang mga Filipino wants to see that these people are going to jail. These people will pay for the crimes that they have committed. And the government will be able to get itong whatever properties they have po, to recover whatever we lost dahil sa kanila po. Dahil sa kanila. Yun po ang gusto namin. So, sana we will be able to achieve ang goals natin po. By doing so po, then I think the Filipinos will be satisfied and continue to support the government. Sa ngayon, apparently, the way things are moving, medyo mahirap po because wala ang trust dyan po. Kulang ang trust sa gobyerno natin. Sa gobyerno natin po. Kasi wala pa nga, hanggang ngayon, wala pa nga mga warrant of arrest issued po. Anyway, on the way na po. And then, maggulo-gulo na ito po. They changed, they removed si special advisor. The first special advisor dyan po sa ICI, si Mayor Benji Magalo. For what reason? Ang gobyerno lang po ang alam. Paano nagawa ang policy that it should be confidential hearing, closed door hearing po? Sila yan po nag-decide. Kaya nga, malungkot or hindi happy ang mga Filipinos po. Especially, this is not, sabihin natin, open hearing. Kasi sabi naman ni, sino yun, na Secretary General, he was interviewed si Hosaka, no? He's the spokesperson of the ICI now, no? Ang decision daw to make it closed door dahil po to protect to protect mga tao involved from public judgment. May rights daw yan po ang mga resource persons po. Yes, may rights naman sila, di ba? Correct din yun. Tama din yan po. No? But ano naman ang rights ng mga Filipinos? We have the right to have that information. So you protected itong mga tao who already stole illegally ang mga pera natin po, and then you are still talking about the rights. You are still talking about the rights, individual rights. Correct din niya po, may rights din sila. But how about ang rights ng mga Pilipino? Ng publiko po. We have the right to know what is happening. May right kami. Mr. President, we also have the right to know. You are protecting, itong ICI is protecting individual rights of these people. Of these people, klaro na klaro po, they cheated us. They use us, they use our money po. Hard-earned money. Pera ng mga overseas Filipino workers po. Kagaya namin dito. Sakripisyo kami. And then, we send our money back sa Pilipinas po. And because of our remittances po, malaking tulong yon po sa Pilipinas. Unfortunately po, yung palang pera namin po, nagpunta lang sa mga ganitong klaseng tao na enjoy ang buhay nila, bili dito mga helicopters, choppers, aeroplano po, enjoy ang buhay nila, mga expensive cars, habang mga ordinaryong Pilipino po are suffering. Yet, mayroon pa. Yet, you are very concerned about the individual rights of these people. But you forget the right of the general public. Is it fair? Fair ba yun po? I don't know. Pasensya po, this is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. Now we are talking about the rights of these individuals. Ilan lang sila po? Let's say, okay, nationwide na yan po. Okay, few thousands lang yan sila po. Compared to, what? 120, 140 Filipinos? 140 million Filipinos po. You violated ang rights namin po. I don't know. Think about it. Think about it, Mr. President. Think about it, members of the ICI. Ganon na lang ba po? If you cannot make it, siguro, if you cannot make it all the way, open door hearing po. But siguro po, there are some hearings na ang revelations, no, ang topics or agenda ninyo for that particular hearing po doesn't give any threat to national security, then open it. By doing so po, slowly, babalik na ang trust namin sa inyo. Pero sa ngayon, medyo mahirap pa. Medyo mahirap pa po. Alright? Okay. Now, the other thing, mayroon din tayo dito mga request. Ano daw yung istorya ni Inday Sara Duterte regarding accusing Martin Romualdez na he received kickbacks. Not only from dyan po sa mga flood control projects po, ayan, sa national budget po, but also in illegal gambling. First thing first, I would like to share with you po itong video clip ni Inday Sara Duterte po, which I believe, dalawang video clip ito po. Unang-una is slightly over 1 minute lang. And then the second one po, mas mahaba konti. In the meantime, ito muna po. Let me share with you itong video clip ni Inday Sara Duterte, our elected Vice President of the Philippines.
Well, matagal naman matagal naman namin na alam yan dahil matagal naman na yan pinag-uusapan. Simula pa lang noong pagpasok namin as President and Vice President, naririnig na namin yung delivery ng mga pera na nakalagay sa mga suitcases. Pero ngayon lang siya lumabas in public dahil merong witness na nagsabi na siya mismo ang nagdadala nung mga suitcases na yun. Hindi siya odd for Martin Romualdez because he was already involved in heavy luggages doon sa Okada case. Kung maalala ninyo, doon sa State of Delaware case sa Amerika, nabanggit na yung pangalan niya doon at nabanggit na rin yung pangalan niya doon na tumatanggap ng pera na nakalagay sa luggages. So, ganun talaga yung modus nila. We're surprised.
Alright, narinig niya po si Inday Sara Duterte, no? Okay, I'll share with you another video clip of Inday Sara Duterte po. You listen to this carefully, ha? Listen to this carefully. Sandali po. Alright, nandito.
Pati sa sa illegal gambling, tumatanggap sila. So, si Martin Romualdez. So, hindi lang siya sa flood control. Baka kasi yung tao na nagtrabaho ng basura, flood control yung pera na tinatransport nila. Pero marami pang iba pang mga sources ng corruption na dinideliver.
Papayin daw po yung source ng information na ito that they are receiving.
Yung mga, ayoko sabihin kasi tatanggalin nila, pag sinabi ko tatanggalin nila yung tao, wala na tayong
Permis office. Pero hindi po ba,
yes.
Permis office, ba dapat lumabas ngayon para makasulat sila?
Ayaw lumabas ng mga tao Dati pa naman kami nagsasabi na na magsalita kayo. Takot lahat kasi magsalita ngayon dahil syempre aabot yun until the office of the president. Diba? So, ako lang nagsasalita. Pero pag sinabi ko kasi kung sino at anong klaseng personnel, maano nila kung sino yung nagsasabi doon sa loob.
But from the office of Congressman Romualdez po yan?
Oh yes. Ito din yung mga tao na nagsasabi sa akin na na atake sila sa confidential funds. Ito din yung reason kung bakit hindi na namin ginamit yung confidential funds on the third and fourth quarter noong 2023 kasi sinabihan na kami na pinagmimitingan sa loob.
But do you think the government is still stable given that
No. Our institutions are clearly abused. They are used for personal gain. They are used for personal gain, and we have already seen the testimony of witnesses about corruption, and there is practically nothing happening in our country. Ilang ulit ko na yan sinasabi noon na tigilan yung politika, tigilan yung pag-una ng pansariling interes kasi walang nangyayari sa ating bansa. Meron ba kayong nakikita at all na project na nakatulong sa ating bayan? Wala. In fact, we ran on the platform of unity and continuity. Ang expectation noon is that there will be continuity on the projects like the build projects of the former administration at yung mga iba pa na nasimulan ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, pero wala naman tayong nakita.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin po si Vice Presidente Inday Sara Duterte po, no? And kayo nang bahala, it's up to you. You judge, you make your own opinion, and if you want to share your comments, then share, and let the people know how you feel ngayon. How you feel ngayon po. So narinig na natin po, no? And let's hope that nakita natin. What is happening now is that, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But this is how I look at it now. These people involved in these anomalous transactions or unhealthy activities or corruption activities po. They are trying to confuse us with all their lies po. Hoping that they keep on giving us wrong informations, keep on trying to confuse us po, hoping that at the end of the day, they will not be found guilty. Hindi yan mangyari po. Filipinos are not born yesterday. We have been very quiet, complacent, forgiving. But dumating na po. Dumating na ang panahon na the Filipinos are fed up. We are angry. Not only disappointed. We are very, very angry. And I think the days of these people are now counted. There are even Filipinos are saying, how you just imagine how angry the Filipinos now. There are even Filipinos are saying how we wish there is this death penalty in the Philippines for corrupt people, for those involved in illegal drugs distribution po. See? From these things that we hear, ang clamor ng mga Filipinos po, death penalty, it only shows that we are fed up. We are very angry po. It only shows that we are very angry. To the extent that we are, majority of the Filipinos are Roman Catholic believers or faithful. We know cursing is a sin. But God, please forgive us. Because of what is happening po, we cannot swallow it anymore. In front of our eyes po, nakikita namin what these people are doing to us. Grabe na po. Lord, please. And who knows? Every time we have this typhoon, we have heavy downpour po, no? It coincides with the situation po. Is it another sign that God is interfering, reminding the Filipinos that time for you to wake up and stand up, and say no to your leaders? They talk about, they name names in the investigation. Then all of a sudden, the following day, here comes Typhoon Opong. Here comes another typhoon. Here comes another typhoon. Filipinos are suffering. For just a short time of downpour, Quezon City flooded, submerged. And not only Quezon City, other places in the Philippines po. So sometimes I tend to think, maybe this is one way our Creator is telling us Rise up. Wake up. I am behind you. Do what you're supposed to do. I gave you wisdom. Don't worry. I'm here. I love you. Yan. Baka yun po ang mensahe ng Diyos natin. Right? Okay, so let's move to another topic ngayon. Yun na po, no? There are some media. I'm a media man. I'm a journalist. I hate corruption, honestly speaking. I hate corruption. I hate people. I've seen people for how many donkey years already po join politics. They started with nothing. They joined politics. When they left politics po, maganda ang buhay nila po. Paano? Maganda? Tingnan niyo po ang mga bahay nila po. Tingnan niyo po ang mga kotse nila po. Saan ba yung galing? If you only base on their salaries alone po, I don't know if I still have here. Salaries alone po, no? Salaries alone. Kano ba ito? Ang salary ng presidente, this is the latest I have lang. Philippine top government official salary 2025. You listen carefully po. President is receiving a monthly salary of under the grade 33. Grade 33. He is receiving a monthly salary of 451,713 per month. 451,713 per month. Vice President, 398,686 per month. Senate President is 398,686, the same with the Vice President. Alright, Speaker of the House of Representatives, 398,686. Parehas yun sila po, Vice President, Senate President, and Speaker of the House. Alright, Senators, they are receiving a monthly salary of 334,059 monthly. Congressmen, 334,059. Parehas din sa Senador. Monthly. Department Secretaries, they are receiving 334,059. Parehas din every month. Executive Secretary, 334,059. The same with the others. Provincial Governor, they are receiving a monthly salary of 226,319. Vice Governor, 178,572. City Mayor, 226,319 per month. Vice Mayor, 178,572 per month. And Vice Mayor, municipal siguro ito po, no? Correspondent cities, Vice Mayor, 140,788 per month. Yun po ang sweldo. Now, if you're a congressman, for example, receiving a monthly salary of 334,059, can you afford to build a house within 3 years? First term mo yan, 3 years. Worth millions. Ang bahay mo po. Ang mga kotse mo po. Now, how much? Fortuna, Toyota Fortuna will cost you, what? More than 1 million. No? Mabuti lang kung isa lang yan po. No? Dami pa po. And they, remember, these elected officials po, mga politicians, they also have their budget every year. If not because of corruption po, I don't think so po. I don't think so po. They will have, they are enjoying a wonderful, beautiful, happily life po being in the Congress. I'm not saying everybody is corrupt. Pero whether we like it or not po, mayroon talaga po corrupt na corrupt politicians natin. Go out from your house tomorrow and look the difference. Ang politician elected for the first term at saka ang buhay niya when he was still an ordinary citizen. Mas lalo na po kung naka 3 terms ka na po. Mas lalo na po kung mataas ang posisyon mo dyan pa sa Kongreso. You are holding one of the top officials or top posts dyan po sa Kongreso o dyan po sa Senado. Kaya nga po, you cannot blame. Kung nakita natin yung mga social media posting ngayon po, mga bahay ng mga congressmen, mga bahay ng mga senador, mga bahay ng mga vice governor, so forth and so on po, malaki. I'm not saying corrupt sila po. Pero mayroon din sa kanila po corrupt. That is reality. That is reality po. Kaya nga nagpatayan talaga po when it comes to election. When it comes to election po. That is what is happening in the Philippines. And habang corrupt sila dyan po sa itaas, they will also corrupt ang mga tao po. Ang fourth estate or ang media po, they will really try to corrupt. Because they know the media can build and destroy them. They use money. They use money po sa mga media. And unfortunately, sorry to say po, mayroon din mga media men po nagiging corrupt dahil sa mga politicians. Bayad. May bayad ang mga media. I'm sorry to say that. But it is not only happening in the Philippines. It is also happening any country po. Ganon. Ang problema lang yan po, ang differential lang yan po, sa ibang country, ang corruption may finesse ang mga politicians. But in some countries, open po. I can tell you a very good example. I will not mention the name of this country. I travel a lot. Overseas trip. May isang country dito po sa Asia. When they ask corruption money sa immigration, sa airport po, open talaga sila po. Sa Pilipinas, I still remember before, under the table. We call it under the table. But in some countries po, on top of the table po, on top of the, and that is happening. That is happening po. Unfortunately po, nangyari din yun po sa Pilipinas. Mabuti lang po. Remember, correct me if I'm wrong again, and I'm not trying to defend or support anybody po. But during the time of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte po, you and me, you know, na apektado talaga ang mga corrupt people sa atin sa Pilipinas po. Dahil stricto si Tatay Digong. Stricto si Tatay Digong. I have seen that because I traveled almost every month during the time of Tatay Digong as the president. And I saw the difference po. And I'm not saying the Marcos administration masama. Because I also travel since 2022. Hanggang ngayon po. A few months ago, I was in Manila po. Bumalik po. Hindi grabe, but the thing is that mayroon na naman tayo. Bumalik na naman itong problema natin. Corruption. Diyan pa lang yun sa airport po. Airport, because when I travel, I use plane or maybe ferry. Depending on the destination I'm going. And the availability of the transportation. Ganon din yan po. Ganon din yan po. Anyway, sige lang. Medyo mahaba na yata ang let me share with you itong mga last video clips natin po. Tungkol itong ang title natin po, no? Tama, si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, no? Rodante Marcoleta. Ito ang issue niya po ngayon. Nag-interview sa kanya ang Abante News tungkol sa asawa niya. And ito po nangyari. Ito nangyari po. Let me share and kayo nang bahala, ha? Kayo na bahala to sabihin natin judge. Okay. First thing first, ito muna po ang Abante News interview sa kanya po. Let's listen to let's listen to this.
Ano ba ang description nung binabanggit nyo kaninang independent director? Hindi rin nyo alam. Well, may mga idea ko kami, pero mas magandang sa inyo nang galing yan. Yung independent director, unang-una, wala kang pagbibayari sa isang kumpanya. Dapat gano'n. Pangalawa, wala kang kinalaman sa management. Pangatlo, kailangan wala kang relasyon by consent PDP second degree civil affinity sa mga shareholders. Kaya dapat independent ka. Eh bakit naman gagawin ng usap ang asawa ko? Para lang makakumutsilat ng ipupukol sa akin? Pero hindi din nakarumi. Hindi mo ba dapat, Senator, manggaling din sa inyo ang delikadesa na, uy, yung asawa ko, ano nito kumbaga nagsiservisyo dito, meron siyang, kumbaga, transaksyon dito, hindi kaya marapat na ako dumistansya muna? Sino? Sino di distansya? Kayo po, dito sa ginagawang investigasyon sa Senado. Meron ba akong kinalaman dun sa mga insurance companies? Delikadesa nga po, Senator, kasi misis niyo po yung nandun. Siyempre may kukunik-kunik na ho yan. Kung ganyan kayong mag-conclude, independent ka. Kaya tinatanong ko nga sa inyo kanina, kung ano yung naiintindihan ninyo Kaya nga po nagtatanong din kami, delikadesa din ho yung binabanggit namin. Pero kung dahil wala akong connection doon, ang asawa mo, independent. Yun nga po, asawa niyo yun ikipagdebate ka pa sa akin Akala ko ba magtatanong ka lang? Nagtatanong din po kami, pero ipupoint out ko rin po yung mga sinasabi mo kasi delikadesa, parang may connection ako Wala na Naintindihan mo yun? Sige sir, salamat na lang po. Tama na. Pero ipupoint ko,
Alright, yun po. Narinig niyo po, no? Ang reporter dyan po sa Abante News at saka si Senator Dante Marcoleta. The reporter is trying to say that delikadesa, labas ka dyan sa investigation dahil ang misis mo is part of the company ni Diskaya po, sa insurance company yan po. Sabi naman si Senator Dante Marcoleta, I'm not involved there and ito lang po ang role ng asawa ko. She is only an independent director sa kumpanya po. And he explained what is the meaning of independent director po. But apparently, itong reporter insisted, no, hindi. Hindi. Delikadesa. Alis ka dyan. Kasi ang misis mo, lumabas na ang pangalan niya. Anyway, nandito, another footage that I'm going to share with you po is si Senator Rodante Marcoleta was also interviewed by another legit media outlet dyan po sa Pilipinas and very known po, well respected ito po, ang programa Dos por Dos ni Katunying and his partner. Let's listen to this po. Let's listen to this.
Mo, dyan lang pinalilitaw talaga. Payaran ng mga media ngayon Hindi man lang nila tinignan yung aking asawa ay isang independent director. Hindi man lang nila ni-research ano bang ibig sabihin ng independent director. Ang independent director ay hindi na magpo-qualify kapag ka ikaw ay may kamag-anak mo sa may-ari. At kung ikaw ay may-ari, halimbawa meron kang pag-aari doon. At meron kang kakilala sa mga namiminuno doon at nagpapasya lahat doon. Hindi ganun ang independent director. Dapat independent ka. Ang katungkulan mo lang, i-protect yung minority shareholders at saka paminsan-minsan umahatol ka sa good governance, yung objectivity ng kanilang pagpapasya. Pero kahit kailan, wala kang pagmimay-ari doon, wala kang kinalamanan
kung sino man yung mga may interest doon. Ganun po yung independent director. Ngayon po, kung halimbawa sasabihin nila na dahil may mga contractors na nagpasya na kuhanin ng serbisyo ng kinasasangkutan na insurance, tingnan po niyo yung mga sasakyan ninyo sa kasi covered baka nakuha po yung yung third party liability po kaya baka yung pong pinag-uusapan nating insurance. Ibig pa sabihin pati mga sasakyan nyo may problema na rin.
So ang binabanggit po ngayon, bagamat yung independent director, pinaliwanag yun na, ang dating po ngayon sa publiko, conflicted po kayo.
Yun po yung gusto nilang palabasin. Pero palagay ko naman sa pamamagitan po ng mga programang katulad ninyo, may papaliwanag kahit unti-unti, mahimasmasan po yung mga nag-iisip ng kung ano. Lalong-lalo na yung merong motibo rito. Meron kami kasing nakitang koneksyon sa mga naninira na yan. Siguro sa mga susunod na araw, ibubulgar din natin. Dahil nga, ang kagustuhan lang nila ay makapanira kahit sa anumang paraan. Hindi man lang nila isasaalang-alang na wala namang connection yung pagiging independent director ng aking may bahay.
Oo. At saka
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Para sa akin po, may puntos. May puntos po si Senator Marcoleta. You have to understand ano ang role ng independent director sa kompanya po. Sa kompanya. I don't know bakit nag-insist talaga, very insisting talaga si Abante. Diyon po sa interview niya po kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta po na delikadesa, alis ka dyan sa investigation. For what? Senator Rodante Marcoleta is doing his job properly po. Diyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee. The way how I look at it po. More focus siya po sa law. Focus siya sa law po. And he doesn't want that nobody will bend the law, will take for granted ang law. No? We have to follow, respect the law. Ang galing niya po, pagka-lawyer ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta. And he's doing great. Para sa akin po. Although hindi naman siya perfecto, but when it comes to defending ang kapwang tao niya po, mga Filipinos, at saka all for the sake of the love of the country, I think what he is doing is great. What he's doing is great. Continue lang po, Mr. Senador. Please continue doing your job po. We appreciate what you're doing. So, siguro nandito na lang po ang programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Again, I just want to say, in the event, whatever I said na offense sa inyo po, no? Sa inyo po, I would like to extend 1,000 apology po. I hate corruption also po. And I saw na nahirapan na talaga ang mga kababayan, mga kapatid natin po dyan po sa Pilipinas. And this is the reason why I am really supporting anybody who is fighting, advocating for total stop of graft and corruption in the Philippines. Again, in the event, nasaktan kayo po for what I have said regarding itong issue ng corruption po, 1,000 apology. So with this, si Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.